All right, I want to start this segment with a clip of Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett during a DOJ subcommittee. She then gets cut off by Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene as Crockett's criticizing the fact that at this hearing, the objective is to look into, and then ultimately Marjorie Taylor Greene calls for the defunding of NPR and PBS, these publicly funded media companies, because they're too liberal. Of course, that's the big MAGA objective. And then I'll show you a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene going absolutely ballistic. But let's start with this one, getting a little bit heated. If you appreciate the show, as always, I'll remind you to click the subscribe button.
Free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing, because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the
gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman's.
And then the mic is literally muted so quickly. Marjorie, I don't know if it was her, but had her finger on that button ready. Because the second part, an important part of that statement, reading the First Amendment, is laying out the free speech protections that in so many ways, this is one of them. It's a part of a broader plot. And if you zoom out and you see, okay, they want to go after PBS and NPR. Trump is going after CBS, his FCC, launching investigations into liberal outlets that Trump doesn't like, that Trump has made issues of. Trump's trying to get with the ABC, with the Ann Seltzer, with the CBS lawsuit, money paid to him to try to force these outlets and individuals to bend the knee and do coverage that he likes. Meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene is clashing with a reporter and saying, I won't talk to you because you're from the UK, and loses her ever-loving mind.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the Defence Secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
From the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you, no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asked.
I'm not.
I love that. I love it so much. The reporter, wait, I'm American. Yeah. Shut up. I'm American. Actually, no. Answer her question. Love it. And what happens, I've heard Marjorie posted once because someone with an accent asked Trump a question. And Marjorie said, we shouldn't have anybody else, any reporters from other countries asking the American president questions. America first. Shoo-wee. And have you ever thought that we get a lot of critical information reporting from American reporters who get access to foreign leaders? Don't you also want to know what foreign leaders in other countries are saying? So there's sort of a trade-off there. The world wants to know what's going on in our country. So we have a few reporters from the world talking to our reporters. Talking to our leaders, and then we have reporters from our country talking to other leaders so that we can all sort of stay connected and informed on the world, because the world is bigger. We're a big part of it, but the world is bigger than just us.
Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asked.
I'm not answering her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever about the complete disregard of operational security from the top level of this administration?
You want to know about complete disregard about operational security?
I bet you, I haven't watched this far in the clip, I bet you $1 billion she will not address the signal controversy with the Trump administration and will bring something else up. Let's listen.
You should talk about the Biden administration.
Oh, there we go. Give me $1 billion now.
They ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job, and I stand by their statements.
So you have
I stand by their statements.
About
My comment to you is I'm thankful to President Trump that he is leading us out of wars, that he's ending the war in Ukraine, where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding from American tax.
Yep. So this, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the response that we're hearing from a lot within the Trump defending cohort, which is to obfuscate, oh, it's something about Biden or Hillary, or to say, I stand by whatever Pete Hegseth said, or I stand by what Mike Waltz said. But they're all saying contradictory and confusing things. So none of it's really being cleared up as it pertains to the leaked attack information, classified information to the journalist Jeffrey Goldberg. Before getting back to Marjorie, because you need a break from the negativity, here is some positivity. MSNBC reports why the latest Democratic special election victory should make Republicans nervous. It talks about the Pennsylvania State House race where a Democrat won, but then the other special election in the Keystone State is also super notable. Democrat James Malone has won an open Pennsylvania state Senate seat in a major upset in a district that comfortably voted for President Trump in November. Not just comfortably, but by 15 points, and a Democrat flipped that. And we've only seen one Democratic victory in this district in 40 years, other than this one. And so this is not where a Democrat's supposed to be competitive, and yet Malone prevailed by running on a notable platform. Malone focused this message heavily on education and cuts to the federal government that he's had to deal with as a mayor of a small town, especially focusing in on the Musk impact on veterans, retirees, and students. Why is this notable? Because this means great things for the Democratic Party? No. We're still in a moment where the Democratic Party as an organization has low approval rating and just lost to Trump and is devastated in many ways. But in these smaller races, you're starting to see early, really early, the opposition. There's some juice in the opposition to the Trump administration already, and a message about the cuts that are hitting people close to home because of Elon's role and Trump's broader policy. These results come just 8 weeks after a Democrat in Minnesota won a state legislative special election, giving the party a majority in the state Senate, which coincided with a state Senate special election in Iowa, in which Democrat Mike Zimmer narrowly defeated his Republican rival. The Iowa race generated some national coverage because of the broader circumstances. This was an election that again was held in a Trump plus 21 points district, a GOP stronghold. The Iowa and Minnesota contests came on the heels of a couple of closely watched state legislative special elections in Virginia held a few weeks earlier, which Democrats also won. And he goes on to say this is not, as I kind of just referenced, some huge moment in what it means for bigger, more engaged in elections that are to come, but at least it gives some hope and some insight into the messages that could work, and the fact that already electorally people are feeling motivated in seeing what Trump has been up to. So it's notable. He completes this that the party has put together some victories, undermining some of the assumptions from November. The conventional wisdom will be put to test again in just 6 weeks with a closely watched state Supreme Court race in Wisconsin and 2 congressional special elections in Florida on tap for April 1st. So much to come, but at least a little bit of victory there with the opposition to what's going on with Trump. Very ironically, Marjorie Taylor Greene said this during this Doge hearing.
The American people have woken up to this nonsense and blatant disregard for truth, and truth matters. And they will not put up with it any longer. Contrary to the beliefs of the head of NPR, Ms. Marr, truth is not subjective. It's actually very important. And there are not multiple truths. There's just one. For a civilization to exist, objective truth must exist.
Okay, I think you get it. Marjorie, are you the right person for this message? Really? We just heard Trump talking about fertilization, and it's sort of, oh, are you the right person? Are you the right messenger for this? With Marjorie, truth is valuable. Truth should be respected. Is that the message that should come from you, who notoriously has a real hostile, abusive even relationship with the truth? And then one other Marjorie clip, just to sort of get all this out of the way. she attacked AOC very personally with this.
Terms is not a presidential year, and by the way, I think AOC is going to have a little something to say about who's going to be the nominee in 28. Always, we can have that discussion.
Yeah, I can weigh in on her. Let me ask you a question, Eric.
Yep.
This is a woman. Think about this. This is a woman. She's never been married. She has no children. She's never had a job other than working in a bar. And that was short term from what we understand. She's never run a business. This is a woman that has really no life experience and has no life wisdom because she's never done any of those things. This is why no one will take her serious as a presidential candidate, because we don't want someone that's propped up by the Democrat progressive establishment.
Okay, I don't even think AOC is gonna or is considering running in 2028, but this is Marjorie. First of all, maybe don't attack people on not being married when your issues there are present. And also, what is this vitriol? We heard it from Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba. Remember, she was so vitriolic towards the idea that AOC worked in a bar, saying, "Go, you serve drinks in a bar, please. I don't want to hear anything from you. You worked in a bar." It's so indicative of an underlying disdain for working class Americans, and it sort of seeps through there. She's had, I'm sure, I know very little about AOC's bio pre being in Congress, but I'm sure she had other jobs. And the fact that she had jobs that aren't good enough for Marjorie or aren't a business owner should not undermine her value and Marjorie's value in the MAGA movement. The reason she even got to Congress was because she was a QAnon influencer, a MAGA mom. So maybe chill with the judgment about how someone rose to prominence. Share your thoughts in the comments.